You're listening to Navigating Eldercare, where you'll find guidance and answers for every step of the eldercare journey. Each week, eldercare advocate Laura Daniels brings you expert insights and practical solutions to help families and professionals make confident care decisions.
Hello, my name is Laura Daniels, founder of Care Advocates and your host for Navigating Eldercare. For years, I have been helping families and medical providers, doctors, nurses, social workers, case managers find the right solutions for seniors in transition, whether that is after a hospital stay, a rehabilitation stay, or when the care needs at home have changed. We assist in finding the right care options. I started this work because I saw how overwhelming and confusing the elder process can be, and I wanted to be a guide and a resources for both families and professionals. Each week on Navigating Eldercare, we tackle the real questions and challenges that families and providers face during care transitions. I've spent the last 30 years working as a registered nurse, specializing in geriatrics, and I have dedicated my career to advocacy and care transition planning. This podcast brings together my experience and my passion to support you on your journey. In my business and in my work at Care Advocates, we walk alongside families every step of the way. We meet with families, clients, and providers to create a customized care plan when someone is needing care, assistance with bathing, dressing, toileting, transferring, mobility. We provide options for them, such as residential care homes, assisted living communities, memory care communities, or we allow them to age in place with support from experts like the one we have here today. We provide advocacy, guidance, and education throughout the entire process that we work with you. Most importantly, we provide ongoing solutions and support. The care journey should never be overwhelming. It should feel guided, supported, and understood. Welcome back to Navigating Elder Care. I am your host, Laura Daniels, and in today's episode, we are going to be talking about aging in place, something that everyone wants to do. Nobody ever wants to move into assisted living. Everyone I meet wants to stay home. And getting older is not just about slowing down. It's about living boldly and also being safe and being in the comforts of your surroundings. In San Antonio, Aging in Place Realtor Amy Roberts helps empty nesters and active adults find homes and match their independence and zest for life with credentials as a senior real estate specialist, certified senior advisor, and certified aging in place specialist, plus expertise in downsizing and fall prevention. Her goal is to educate, encourage, and empower older adults so that they can live safely, independently, and confidently. From downsizing to multi-generational living, she guides clients through smooth transitions with care and compassion. Every stage of life should be celebrated, and she's here to help seniors do that. Amy, welcome to the show. It is an honor to have you here with us today.
Thank you, Laura. I'm so glad you asked me to be on here. It's always fun to talk about your passion with like minds. There's lots to do and say here. How did I work my way into this career? It's been a wonderful journey, and my story begins over 20 years ago. I was very close to my grandmother growing up, and in 2004, our family started to take notice that maybe our Mimi needed to have a little bit more care. We did not want to see her in a community of any sorts. It would have been insulting to her, and I was at a point in my life where I thought it would be great if she came to live with us. My children at the time were 4, 8, 10, almost 11. So I'm like, well, no, why not come live with us? I'm a nurturer by nature. I'm constantly looking for ways to do things for other people. Fostering newborns was the best job of all time. But my youngest would be starting school that next year, and I could just see myself hanging out with Mimi during the day and doing things. I did not realize at that time, though, I was preparing myself for something even bigger, which is where I am at this point right now. I became part of that sandwich generation, which is caring for a generation above mine and below mine. And I hadn't heard that phrase before then. So in preparation for my Mimi, my grandmother, I started researching how we could modify our home to accommodate her. It was important for us that she could get around and reach things that she wanted to get. and be independent in our home. It was also important to me, though, that it was very aesthetic, and that's where aging in place and universal design came in to play for us.
Great. And again, you were allowing her to age in place by starting to think about how to design the home and make modifications so your grandmother can safely be in your home, correct?
Right. And we didn't want it to look like a nursing home. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want my children to be raised feeling like they were living in a nursing home, and she surely did not want that either. So it was important that the aesthetics played a big role in the design of the home. This is when I learned about universal design. It captured my heart at that very moment because it was just so practical. I couldn't quit learning about it. I wanted to take this certification called CAPS, Certified Aging in Place Specialist, but I couldn't do it because I was not a builder or a remodeler. I had to be in that field, and at that time, that was not a practical for me to do. I would have to gone to Florida to take the classes, and I had sons and grandmothers and a husband to take care of. So I had to put a pin in that for the time being, and when the time was right, I pulled that pin. So fast forward to 2020, that's when that's when Sprightly was born. My sons were raised. I was able to take the CAPS classes online thanks to COVID, and here I am. And since real estate runs in the family, I was the third generation of agents, and I began this niche. So,
Amy, so tell us about aging in place. Give us, what is the definition for aging in place? For those that, and we know a lot of people know what that is, but for those that have never heard of that, what does aging in place mean?
The official definition is the ability to live in one's own home and community safely and independently and comfortably, regardless of age or your income or your ability level. This means being proactive. It means being voluntarily planning for changes that you may have in your health, your mobility, and your support needs. It's about adapting your environment and arranging the right services so that people can enjoy the comfort and community and keep control of their lives. I would say in a nutshell, you are setting yourself up for future options when you plan early.
I absolutely agree with you, Amy. And, and what I do in helping families find care options, such as assisted living, memory care, residential care homes, everyone always wants to stay home, but they can't do that because they have not safely planned for that.
Right.
Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. And only 4% of the houses in the U.S. are ready for aging in place.
And
that's just mind-boggling. And each person's experience is different, too, because of the various life transitions. Like, take, for instance, becoming a widow or widower. That's a major life change. And some older adults, after losing a spouse, they naturally or voluntarily choose to move to a smaller home or a retirement community just to simplify their life and connect socially. We call those voluntary moves, and they're generally easier to manage because these folks are being proactive. But then on the flip side, on the other hand, we have some people that face involuntary moves. This is an urgent move because it's triggered by a health decline or a safety concern. Family members or caregivers may really have to encourage or even insist in some instances on a move. Despite that person's reluctance. Obviously, these conversations are very difficult because the emotional impact is deep and complex. So those late in life moves, they come with a diverse scenarios from voluntary planned transitions like widowhood, downsizing, to those involuntary moves driven by an urgent need.
Completely agree with you, Amy. And as you know, 95% of all placements happen in an emergency when mom has walked out the door, got lost, or dad had a severe stroke and they can't bring him back home because they haven't safely planned to bring him back home. They haven't made those modifications. Amy, tell us about how you, as a realtor, serve the older the older adult homeowner, and what is that about?
Yeah. Serving the older adult market and these longtime homeowners is really about understanding psychology. It requires insight into human behavior, the challenges people face, and just a deep sense of empathy. This work is definitely different. It's not just about buying and selling houses. Any realtor can do that. This is about helping people navigate complex emotional issues, especially related to late in life moves. My focus is on assisting those who are downsizing or feeling overwhelmed by maybe the logistics and the emotions of leaving a home that they have loved for, 30, 40, 50 years. That's the kind of meaningful support I provide.
And I've witnessed that firsthand, and it's been an honor to work alongside you, Amy. I see you bring that, not only that empathy and that passion and love you have for older adults, but just seeing that expertise come in as you assist someone in selling their home or modifying their home or as helping them age in place. And we're going to talk about a case scenario that we've literally been working on. We were talking about it's almost going to be 4 years. Same client over 4 years, how Amy has helped them age in place safely, and we'll talk about that later. But Amy, I often get calls from people saying, I'm really worried about my mom or my dad. Their home isn't safe anymore. Their health is declining, and I can't be there to help them because either they work, they're in another state, or life. They have a job, a husband, kids, grandkids, but they want them in a better place. And they ask me, what can I do? They don't want to leave their home. So Amy, how do you handle those situations?
Yeah, that's a tough situation because they are adults. They have their own wishes and you need to honor them. But this is where that psychology and the counseling training comes into play and help navigate these sensitive conversations. I'm thinking maybe I can give you a scenario to answer your question, and it may be able for our listeners to relate to it because, what do you do when one spouse wants to move but the other spouse doesn't? Have you heard this before?
All the time. Yeah. Absolutely. Or when their care needs are very different, right? Yes.
Yeah. Let me give you this example. A darling couple for over 35 years have lived in their home. Deeply attached to those familiar surroundings, the nearby friends like their neighbors. But she is the primary caregiver since his stroke, and she is quite overwhelmed by maintaining the home, handling all the bills, arranging for repairs, the cars, insurance, all of those things that they used to do together. And now she feels isolated and exhausted. Despite her love and her devotion for him, she's still not able to get out and live the way she used to and what she's come to know. Their children have suggested the downsizing and moving to a community with less upkeep, more support, but he is digging his heels in. He's resistant, and it's because he's fearing that loss of independence. Meanwhile, she is growing increasingly stressed and just privately wonders how much longer she can manage. When asked, he insists, this is my home, I'm fine here. And then she talks to the kids. So they're both talking to the kids, right? And she's like, I just don't know how much longer I can do this anymore. And they're both feeling misunderstood and alone. And the challenge is having that difficult conversation. And often it's highlighting the changes that have become so routine they're hard to notice. Like, she always cooks dinner. She's always making the bed. And you think about making the bed. Changing the sheets takes a lot of energy, and it requires a lot of mobility and dexterity and strength to lift that mattress and shove that sheet under there and shove a pillow into a pillowcase. And these small tasks quickly drain our energy. We ask them, what parts of the house do you actually use? Give me 4 places, and it'll typically be the kitchen, the family room, the bedroom, the bathroom. And all of those other spaces, the rest of the square footage, you're paying taxes on, your utilities, you're maintaining it on spaces that no longer are bringing you joy and value. This story, fortunately, had a good outcome. With their children's help, they lovingly found an independent living community. They had a good compromise, and they decided to keep the house just in case he wanted to move back. Since then, he's passed on, and she's now surrounded by friends in this community who have encouraged her to join activities and join her for meals. Their children are feeling grateful that she's safe and happy, and she no longer has to worry about, are the lights on when she gets home? Would somebody be hiding behind a bush? The alarms, the yard work, all those things. To me, the best part was she was able to fully focus on him during that last year. And he, I think, felt good knowing that she was living in a secure place, and that brought him peace. I like that part.
Was their home accessible, Amy, for aging in place when you were helping them, or did you allow?
Oh yeah, absolutely. When they bought the place, I was there. I helped with the redesign, and I incorporated the universal design principles for aging in place, and it really turned out beautiful. In fact, I will be putting it on the market here before long. It's a really great home.
Amy, in addition to your senior realist, you are a senior realtor. You are also a CAPS certified. Tell me, I know what that is, but tell our listeners what that means and how that helps your clients.
Yeah, so like I told you earlier, the CAPS certification is the Certified Aging in Place Specialist, and it's through the National Home Builders Association. It has absolutely nothing to do with real estate. Like I said earlier, I coveted this designation before becoming a real estate agent because I loved the concept of this. It's just so practical. My eye is now trained to hone in on what's going to work, what doesn't, what's worth fixing to successfully age in place. And will these modifications that you're thinking about doing, is it really going to give you a good return on your investment? Most people are not looking past the right here and the right now. I'm thinking what could happen 5, 10, 20 years down the road, and I'm trying to get them to see it too. And I will have many people say that they are very active. They don't need this right now. I run miles, marathons, I'm a biker, I do this. That I'm not ready for yet. And that's okay. But it may not just be for you. It may be for somebody that wants to come visit you. And basically, we're all one knee and hip replacement away from needing a more accessible home. But if your home is ready, if your home is visitable, you will have 3 things. You will have wider doorways, you will have at least one 0-step entry into the home, and one full bathroom on the first floor.
Amy, tell us a little bit about what our listeners can do, those that want to stay home. We know everyone wants to stay home. How can they age in place safely? What are some simple do-it-yourself modifications that they can do?
Yeah, this is one of the fun parts of what I do. I want to encourage everybody to go on the AARP website and download their Aging in Place checklist. You can evaluate your own home and make your adjustments yourself. I encourage you to also have somebody bring fresh eyes in and do the same thing. But the number one place of falls happens in the bathroom. So I would install grab bars in the bathroom, around the toilet, in the shower, outside the shower. You can even put them as you come and exit and enter and exit the home. I would add night lights, motion sensor LED lights in the hallways and in the bedroom and bathrooms to reduce trip hazards. And just as a little side note, did you know that red light does not interrupt the circadian rhythm like blue light? So you hear people say before bed, calm your brain down, don't be on screens. Well, that's waking your brain up, but the red light is the opposite. So check into some motion sensor lights that will help you stay asleep, but can help you see where you're going. I would also put non-slip mats around. You do adhesive strips in the shower, the tub. You put them in the entryway, anywhere that it might be slippery and cause you to fall. Consider rearranging the furniture. Remove clutter to create clear, wide walkways throughout the room. Talking with a fireman, said clutter for them is the worst, and they're trying to hurry and get somebody out of a tight predicament, and they're hurt, and with all the clutter, they can't get them out very easily, especially without them hurting even more. I'd swap out round doorknobs for lever style. Everybody can use that, especially if you have an arthritic hand or grip issues. And then technology supports aging in place.
And Amy, this is something that you can assist with if our listeners call you, correct? And
absolutely.
We're going to share all of your contact information. We know that 80% of all falls over the age of 65 happen in the home. Those are our statistics. Where do you see most of the falls happening, Amy, in your experience when you're evaluating these homes for safety?
Yeah, well, bathroom being number one, but then there's also the kitchen. There's the entry. There are stairs. Those would be the top places that I would see most.
Okay. Amy, if an older adult chooses to stay in their own home, but they want to make their living, their day-to-day easier and safer, what can they do to stay socially connected and also be able to maintain wellness?
Staying in your home comfortably means planning ahead, and that's not just for these physical modifications. Your social and wellness activities are definitely important. Start with connecting with your local community center. Most often, they offer transportation assistance. They'll offer a hot meal, fitness programs, educational classes to keep your brain active and provide meaningful social interactions just beyond chatting about whatever's going on in the news. You can have meal delivery services like Mom's Meal, bring healthy hot meals to your door. And then we're fortunate to live in this age of technology. You can FaceTime your kids, your grandkids.
And also, I want to add regarding the wellness piece and being able to stay home. There are so many resources out there that can allow you to age in place. A lot of Medicare covered resources such as home health, which encompasses physical therapy, occupational therapy, nursing, and speech. If you or your loved one has had a fall or a decline, you can call your primary care doctor, have them give you an order for home health. Someone can go out there and see you the same week. There are also services such as mental health, podiatry. You can have a visiting doctor's group visit you monthly and as needed. When you are trying to age in place and staying home safely, if your loved one or yourself, you wake up with a fever, don't feel well, someone can go out to see you. They can do a chest x-ray, labs. They can, if you have bronchitis or a pulmonary diagnosis, they can start antibiotics. Whatever it is that you have, a lot of this can be taken care of in the home. And Amy and I were talking about this earlier. There's also a great company out there that can see you quickly, right, Amy?
Right.
We were talking about that. Give us a call, either me or Amy, and we'll connect you with all of these wonderful resources. And there are many convenience services available. Amy, you were talking about grocery deliveries,
prescriptions, cleaning, events maybe for your church. They can come to, one of them that we didn't talk about, Laura, was your prescriptions being packaged in in blister pops. And if you have the dexterity to open those pill poppers, then you're able to not have to sort. You don't have to sort all your medications every week, which is such a pain, and you run the risk of missing one or doubling up or something like that.
Yeah. And again, utilizing experts like Amy, right? You can leverage community resources, utilize Amy, technology, all of the Medicare covered resources to allow you to live well, stay connected while aging safely in your home. Amy, give us another case study, that you can think about. In that, just a case study, a client, a family that you have served, and the work that you do and how that relates to some of the listeners out there.
Just recently, I love this little lady. It's such a good story. She moved to be closer to her cousins, and they are also older adults, and their kids were very supportive and involved. In fact, they loaded up the big U-Haul and drove it down from California. They got her bed set up. They brought in boxes so she can unpack it. They put the furniture where she envisioned it, and then they left. And in her mind's eye, she sees herself getting up every morning, unpacking some boxes, putting things away, hanging photos, all those things. But in reality, it wasn't real. She was exhausted. She couldn't lift. I happened to call her to check in and see how she's doing, and she was honest and shared that she needed help. And so my husband and I went over there that Saturday, and we helped unpack more things. We made sure she got her refrigerator. They kept him hawing around getting her refrigerator delivered, and she had medications that needed to be refrigerated. So we made sure that got there. You just need an advocate sometimes, and that's one of the things I like about my job is being the voice when they need one.
Absolutely. And I have my own personal case study. I've collaborated with Amy. It seems like it's been 4 years since we've been helping Jim. Jim is a gentleman with Parkinson's who really want it. He still wants to stay home and age in place. And Amy was able to come in, make some home modifications, and it's been 4 years. And what is happening with this client is we toured 4 years ago, and he was heartbroken, and he really wants to stay in his home. And after seeing a few communities and licensed residential care homes, he decided to stay home, and that's where Amy stepped in and continued to helping him and his family age in place. He has, his health has declined to the point where he is needing more and more caregiver services, about 8 to 12 hours a day. That expense is becoming, it's too much. So now the cost of that is more than it would be if we were to move him into an assisted living community. Would you agree, Amy?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And yeah, at this stage, the caregivers need to move him to a higher level of care and safety and convenience for everyone. Caregivers need to recognize that when these plans change, it's okay. The medical needs are going to evolve.
I definitely agree. And it's, 4 years collaborating and assisting the family and himself. That's the kind of care and advocacy and education and guidance that we provide. We are there for a lifetime. And in this case, it's been 4 years. Amy and I are still continuing to help him and the family. Amy, thank you so much for being here. I wanted to ask you, is there anything else that you want to say or anything else I forgot to ask you?
I think the key to all of this is communication. It's your foundation for maintaining a strong, healthy relationship with your aging parents, sharing things. For you parents out there listening, when the roles are reversed and your kids are becoming more involved than you want or protective, it's important for you to be honest and share how you are feeling. They need to know that you're happy, healthy, and safe. And when you communicate that honestly, it gives your family confidence to help you and them too. It's good for everyone all the way around.
Thank you, Amy, for joining me today. I look forward to continue to collaborate with you in helping our older adults age in place safely. And thank you, listeners, for joining me on Navigating Eldercare, where we bring guidance and answers for every step of the elder care journey. If you are a family member, hospital case manager, or healthcare provider, and you know someone facing a change in health or planning for future care needs, Care Advocates is here to help you find the right care at the right time. Whether it's assisted living, memory care, bringing someone like Amy, a community resource, into your home, we walk alongside you every step of the way. We meet with you personally. We get to know what the care needs are, what the challenges are. We discuss care options that fit your needs, and we provide ongoing solutions and support. Our commitment is simple: care, compassion, lifetime support. For a free consultation, call me at 210-669-2222. Be sure to like and share this podcast, and visit us at advocate, ADVOCATERN.com for helpful resources. If you have a question or an idea for a future episode, you can also email me at Laura, Laura, at advocatern.com. And I'm going to let Amy let us know where you can contact her. Amy, your information, please.
My website is sprightly-life.com. Sprightly is SPRIGHTLY-life.com.
And your phone number, Amy?
210-410-7410.
You can also listen to us on past episodes on YouTube or listen on your favorite podcast application. You can also listen to us here every Sunday at 8:30 on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. I am Laura Daniels, and this has been Navigating Elder Care, helping you find the right care at the right time for the people that matter the most. Thank you for listening.
This has been Navigating Eldercare with Laura Daniels, providing guidance and answers for every step of the elder care journey. For a free consultation, call 210-669-2222 or email Laura at advocatern.com. Catch every episode on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, YouTube, your favorite podcast app, or at advocatern.com.